Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the realm of bizarre news. I'm your host, Dr. Franklin Ruehl, and we start off with the trivia question. Let me extricate here from this paper prison. The question: in the 1951 sci-fi flick, The Day the Earth Stood Still, how long did the Earth actually stand still for? Multiple choice. Was that 30 minutes, 1 hour, 6 hours, 12 hours, 1 day, or 7 days? Now the prize, the only prize for the correct answer, one pat on the back, which you'll have to administer to yourself. Heck of a lot better than a slap on the belly with a wet trout. Now, speaking of aliens, Spanish astronomers have announced the discovery of a large Earth-like body about 30 light-years from Earth. It's named GJ436T. It orbits the star GJ436. It's about 5 times the size of the Earth, and roughly 40,000 miles in diameter, about the size of Neptune. But it is a rocky Earth-like body, and they're speculating that life could exist upon it. Now, I'd like to suggest that possibly we're seeing the collective effects of an entire solar system that contains more than just one Earth-like body. For example, using that same technique, astronomers from an alien world looking at our solar system might be able to see Jupiter and Saturn, but not detect the Earth, Mars, and Venus. In other words, we're only seeing that planet indirectly, and it may be much smaller. And by extrapolation, I argue that every single star in the cosmos is encircled by a family of planets, and on every one of those planets, we should have some type of life. For example, this would be an excellent planet from which Klaatu might have emerged. Now, speaking of that movie, just how long did the Earth stand still for in The Day the Earth Stood Still? Was it 30 minutes, 1 hour, 6 hours, 12 hours, 1 day, or 7 days? Is that your answer? 7 days? No, just 30 minutes, from noon to 12:30. As you might recall, Klaatu, portrayed by Michael Rennie, and Patricia Neal were in a freight elevator when all power ceased. And that was the basis of how the Earth stood still. Power was cut off except in emergency rooms and hospitals and planes, so no one was hurt. There's a slight flub because in the freight elevator, they were in a bright light at first, then it only dimmed. They should have been in total darkness, but still a sensational movie. Now, speaking of Hollywood, we are saddened to tell you that the actress Hazel Court, horror star of such films as The Curse of Frankenstein and the Dr. Blood's Coffin and The Mask of the Red Death, has passed away at the age of 82. Now, she was called the best screamer in the business. Once guested on my show, I asked her to scream. At first she demurred. Then, suddenly, out of nowhere, she let loose with this blood-curdling shriek. Made my day. Thank you for that, Hazel. You'll not be forgotten, and may the power of the cosmos be with you wherever you now are. Yes. Now, here's a shirt. Pertains to a charity up in Kelowna, British Columbia. They gathered together a mind-boggling 25 tons of clothes to donate to Africa. They had them compacted to fit into boxes, but the shipper rejected them because all the clothing reeked of orange juice. It turned out the compacting machine they used had been used to crush orange juice cans. Now they still have to pay the shipper $5,000 and $1,400 extra to dump the clothing. You know what I say? It's still good. Nothing wrong with a little orange juice. Makes the clothing smell better. Yes. Darn. Now let's open the vault of strange deaths. We have very inconsiderate. This pertains to a Japanese girl, 14, in Tokyo, who offed herself by mixing detergents together in her apartment to create deadly hydrogen sulfide. But some of the hydrogen sulfide seeped through her walls, sickened 90 other tenants in the building. No one died, but they got very sick. Inconsiderate. Contrast that with a man in a car who used the same detergents to create hydrogen sulfide to off himself. In his car window, he put a sign up, "Stay away." Very considerate. Thank you. Now, until next time, may the power of the cosmos be with you. Yes, yes, yes. And thank you again, driver.